Hi, I'm Amanda and this is the Mums, Bums and Tums podcast, which is for mums by mums. If you enjoy listening or watching today, you can please support us across all the channels by liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing with your friends, or you can buy me a coffee and the link is below. And today with us, we've got Sophia. So hello, if you'd like to introduce yourself, thank you for coming on.
Introduce myself, my name is Sophia. I'm a mum of a little boy called Cassian. He is 3 years old. I'm a single mum, so navigating that life on my own. So I thought there was just lots that we can talk about
Absolutely.
in that area. I'm also self-employed. I'm a Pilates instructor. So I work with a lot of women and get to chat to lots of them about various things about being a mum, basically.
Good. How do you find being a mum?
Love being a mum. It's the hardest thing we've ever done in our lives, right?
But the most rewarding.
Most rewarding. I don't know. I only know from being a boy mum, and that is a bit feral. Like, he's just carnage. You're soon to find out. But it is amazing.
Pray for me. To be honest, Nyla was feral.
Oh, well, that's it. Some like
you know her.
I
so
do know. I do know. Some girls do put their mums through the ringers. I bet you I was that girl. So I think
I was.
If I had a girl and it would have been a mini me, I think that would have been God-like. Payback.
Yeah.
Payback B.
For everything you did.
Everything I did to my mum and dad, I was very, very strong-minded. So I think Cassian's
That's not a bad thing.
got that from me. Yeah, I think this day and age you need it, don't you?
When it's for someone else, when it's at me, don't be strong.
Yeah, no, exactly. But he's definitely got my nature in that sense. And he's just a big boy. Like, if he has a tantrum, I'm fighting for my life.
Oh, aren't we
Trying
all?
to pick him up. Like, if he's rolling on the floor, he's got to stay there because I can't.
They're so strong as well. When they're in the midst of that tantrum, you're like...
You can't, he's really good at, regulating his emotions.
Good. Thanks to you.
Yeah. I think we've worked quite well on that, especially given, everything the past few months. So I've been making sure I'm focused on how it's affecting him, obviously, massively.
Yeah.
But he's good on that sense. But it's, sometimes when they get something in the head, it's like they ain't getting out, are they?
Yeah, 3... I was saying to someone earlier, 3, they say the terrible twos are hard, but I thought 2.5 to 3.5 was worse.
I think 3.
But 3.5, I promise it gets better.
Does it?
Yeah, it did for us.
3 is 3.
Which would have just jinxed it. Yeah.
3 is just fighting for my life, pretty much. I think 2s were fine. Apart from
I think it's just every season is different, isn't it?
Yeah, but they change.
I do feel for them because they're struggling to communicate how they feel.
Yeah.
They're big emotions that they don't quite yet get. So he will be out. When's he 3.5? He's only just turned 3 recent, hasn't he?
I'm in the thick of it, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the thick of it. But
there's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
No, but he is, 2s were fine for me. A newborn was a dream. I bet some people hate newborn. And
my best friend absolutely hates newborn.
It. No, I could have done it.
I'm swapped.
Yeah, I am.
I want to sit on that couch and nap with that baby.
On the boob.
Yeah, literally.
Not a problem, I know. And then it's just the big emotions, isn't it? And we know this day and age it's hard. And I think now parenting is so difficult because there's so many do's and don'ts. There's so much more. I said to my mum, you've not parented in this day and age.
No.
You can say the wrong thing very quickly and then you've damaged them. They're ruined. This
is what you constantly got in the back of your mind. Is that going to affect them for the rest of their life? That's what I always worry.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Done.
We've been there. We've got it from
there. Yeah, and there's things you even in public and, little things I remember, you're not allowed to say now, okay, I'm going, bye. Because apparently then they have, separation, abandonment issues, so you're not meant to say bye. And then so I've said that in public thinking, everyone, that's it, I'm an awful mum.
Yeah, this is the thing though, you do worry more about what others think of what you're saying when it shouldn't be, but it's hard not to.
No, I know.
I know it myself.
It is hard.
I just overthink what they're thinking.
Yeah, I remember I was in Chester Zoo with him and he's not getting the concept of time, so wait a minute, we've got to wait in this queue. We went to Disney and he actually did really well in Disney, but this was Chester Zoo, good. It was last summer, I think. So it was 2.5. And I remember he bit me because he didn't know he had to get a coin to go onto the, what are they called? The horses, Bobby horses.
Oh, yeah.
We had to get a coin and then walk over and then get the coin.
Unfair though at a child's place.
Yeah, exactly. I'm they don't get that. Why are you making me buy a coin?
Queue twice.
Yeah, and then, he bit me and then I was do I put him on the Bobby horses still? Because if that was me a few years ago, I'd been you can't put him on the Bobby horses, it just bit you. Because when he bit me, dropped him, it bit me that bad.
Oh, God.
And then 10 minutes later we're on the bobby horses, and I'm thinking if that was me a few years ago, I'd go, she's not took him on the bobby horses after that.
But you don't know until you're in the thick of it.
Until you're in the thick of it. And
it's hard.
Until you're a mum.
Whatever you do is right for you and your family, because how others parent isn't going to be the way you parent as well. And that's something that me and Josh have found, that we parent very differently. We've just got to find like I think it's just the different ways you've been brought up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
is he an only child? Josh?
No, he's 1 of 4. We're both the youngest.
Okay.
But I just think from a girl family, so it's very different. He's 2 brothers and a sister. So we're all dead close knitted, and like we never got grounded. But I just had to have a look from my mum, and I would stop being naughty.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, was it your mum? See, I was like daddy's girl, and I was like, if me dad, like, wait till your dad comes home, and I was like, oh shit.
No, see, I'd be petrified of disappointing my mum. Oh. So I'd be like, oh, can't do that.
Oh.
So, but we're all dead close. So I think it is different for boys and girls anyway, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
Huge. But I think as well, like, parenting a boy in this day and age is really hard, because there's a fine line between, I think you can get judged for if you're too soft with them, especially now coming from a single mum, because I am his primary care and sole parent bringing him up. I want him to be in touch with his emotions, but then he's got to be a boy, and like, how do you keep them a boy, man up, and like, so it's finding that balance. That's the only thing that I'm really now just navigating, because he gets into those big emotions and how he should be handling those feelings. It's hard.
Have you got a brother?
No,
I thought it was just you.
My sister has 2 boys, so we're
then you're learning something new.
Yeah, I am.
How
100%.
to parent a boy, and so
I've got the best. Like, my sister is my inspiration, because her husband's in the military, so she did raise her 2 boys on her own. But again, it's different. Like, she had them when she was 22, so she was a little bit younger, and I think obviously like she was still like finding her feet with being a bit younger in that aspect. And also, again, like, it's how 9 and 11 they are, so like 9 or 11 years is like a long time for things to change of how we should. And
it's forever changing.
There's more like research now about like the mindset and mental health in kids, isn't there? Which is amazing, but gives us
and you want to make sure that him growing up is as respectful and well mannered and nice as he can be, and you've always got that worry, haven't you?
Yeah. I think both male and female, isn't it? It's not the same. I was just for me, because I only know that boy experience. But it's, you're gonna
just want the best. I know. God help me. I know I'm a girl family, so it's all brand new.
I can see you as a boy mum as well.
I never imagined it, but I can't wait. Yeah.
No, I can see it. Just because you're very hands-on and like with the active lifestyle you've got, it's going to be great for him, because the very go. The very go.
Yeah. Well, Nyla was the same, as I say. So I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready for it, as I can be. So how is so you've just recently trained, haven't you, in Reformer?
Yeah, so I was mat Pilates trained from 2016. So I'm I've been doing mat for years, but I mainly worked with a lot of dancers, obviously, because that's where my background lies, and a lot of rehabilitation if certain dancers got injuries, just still keeping them moving and stuff like that. And then I just feel like Reformer took off massively. Like, I was applying for studios to do mat, and a lot of them were like, we were a mat studio, and now we've put the Reformers down, because it's just completely took off. And I loved it because I took classes, and I think it's a perfect balance of, I do like HIIT style, so it's a big balance of stretching, but also toning, but also stamina, just like using that body weight, which is obviously really difficult. Like, you don't realise how hard like do in the gym.
How hard a class can be. I thought I was strong until I did a Reformer class.
It's humbling, isn't it? I was like that. Like, but I'm an acrobat.
Yeah, because I'd tried yoga and it just wasn't for me. It was too slow. Whereas that like pushes you a bit.
I'm like that. I'm a bit ADHD brain. Like the classical Pilates on the Reformers is also not really for me. Yeah. That's why I do like the HIIT style. I like to just be actually burning and like work a little bit.
Yeah. Keep your mind moving.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, I think it's just so much about mental health, isn't it? Like how much you move your body. And it's good for the brain. It's good. It's amazing.
All over, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you enjoying teaching it?
I love it. I've got a vocal nodule though. So I don't know if my voice will break a little bit. But I had no voice for so it started when I literally started teaching, but I teach and talk so much.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, how are you finding that? I'm like Adele.
I'm not too bad because we have the music blaring, so I don't actually have to say a lot as part of it. So I obviously explain everything at the beginning, do the warm up, and then it's kind of like I'll chat to them.
Yeah.
So it's not me. Everyone's not doing the same thing at the same time.
I know what you mean. See, I have to like shout, like, but you have to cue everything, obviously, because of the safety aspect. I'm like, belly button through to spine, engages abdominal muscles, like going through the technique of everything, and then I've got to count them, and like then we layer it, and it is like for someone with like undiagnosed ADHD, I'm like, it's good for that reason, because it literally, I don't have a second to think of anything. But yeah, I lost my voice completely, and I like wasn't well over Christmas. I think everyone had that like weird chest infection, and I was so sick with it, and I had 2 rounds of antibiotics, and then my voice just still weren't coming back, and then they put a camera down my nose. And I'm saying, like, childbirth was fine, that was vile. Like, it was worse than childbirth. And they were like, it's just like a COVID test. I was like, no, it's not. He just shoved this thing and it went all the way down my throat, and he was like, yeah, you've got a nodule. And I was like, the only thing I think about is Pitch Perfect or Adele. Yeah. So I was like, oh, just call me Adele.
That's me.
But getting back into my, like, performing career now, if I go for agents or, like, musicals, they want you to sing. And I'm like... And they said the only way to like get rid of it is vocal rest. And I'm like, I've got a toddler as well, so I'm definitely not doing that. I've got a job. Can you pay me bills?
Yeah.
Or vocal therapy, and like, you know, the NHS waits, so like that's a whole other ball game. So I was like, you're gonna have to just get rid of it. Like, I don't love the idea of an operation, but like bills gotta be paid, and obviously like. It's not going to get better with the job that I do, but just goes to show, like, self-employed, it's hard.
It is. Would you not use a mic for classes, or do you?
So, no, I don't use a mic yet, but I'm thinking about it.
It definitely helps. That's what I used to do.
Britney Spears.
I'll
be taking the mic out myself.
When I used to teach loads of gym classes, I used to teach in Pure, and then when I moved down south for taught, they always had mics.
Did they?
Because I used to do spin,
so
the music's loud. It just made everything. I hated the thought of it.
Yeah,
but once you get used to it, it's so much easier because you're not screaming.
I have thought about it. I don't even know if it's like the volume. It's
just
the
constant
fatigue in the voice. Yeah,
just training your vocal cords, aren't you?
I do like 4 back-to-back classes, and I'm talking for 45 minutes straight, and each of them 15 minutes in between.
But in between, you're still talking. Oh yeah, you're talking to people before and after.
Clients, they come in for a little natter because of the community as well. Yeah. I love that part. That's my favourite bit.
Yeah.
Like even in the stretcher, she'll be letting them like have some cool down, like calming time and a bit of zen, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's nice though.
It is. I think that's the nice part of the job as well.
Definitely. So you're enjoying it loads?
Yeah, I do love it.
Where are you teaching then now?
So I teach at Frame Pilates, which I teach in both of those studios. Yeah. So there's one in Chester and there's one in Brom. And then I also teach in Northwich, which I'm leaving there soon because we've got a few like more reformer studios popping up everywhere, aren't they? So
you just got one.
Yeah. Oh, have you?
Yeah.
What, in here?
Yeah, it's next door.
No way.
It's literally in like it used to be our waiting area. Jess has just built one.
So good.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. I just think it. Not to be biased, but I love it for exercise. It's like I just think it's got everything in one. And so there's one opening in Flow in West Kirby. So I'll be there.
Amazing.
So I'll stop with Northwich because I love Northwich because it's kind of again that community building is in, like I speak to so many different people and it's a bit out of the way and it's just nice to kind of go out, but just with travel and stuff, and Cassian starts school in September, so I'll have to adjust my schedule again.
Well, this is the thing, you've just got to juggle it and make it work, haven't you? And
I'm just trying to be still really present because that's why we love being self-employed, right? Because we get to choose and be present mums. Like, I think that's what everyone would love to do, so that's why self-employed is great. In that aspect as well, it's not so great because when they're sick, like, I'm ill, like I'm struggling with that loads. Like, he's just picking up everything now and then.
Yeah, once they start going to school.
And it's like, if I'm not there, I'm not getting paid. So
yeah,
self-employed life, it's hard, but it has its pros
got
and
its
cons.
Ups and downs,
yeah. So I'm just in those two studios at the moment, and then I'll switch. So I'll swap. It's Bodie. It's called in Northwich. I'll swap that for Flow.
That's
exciting. And be in West Kirby.
When's that opening then?
August.
Oh, it's good.
I know, it's going to be stunning. She's got like an interior design doing like all the interior as well, so she's gonna.
I just think they all have such a gorgeous, clean aesthetic as well. And it's just like, it's so aesthetically pleasing when you go in, because that's what you want your home to look like. So it's just nice.
We love
to
the gram
go.
Pics. Like we all the aesthetic girlies go for. Like, just to take the.
You've got to
little Instagram dump.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with that. I love it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If I had somewhere like my own studio, I would just be very particular and like
maybe in the future.
Yeah, I think. Well, I've tried my own business before, haven't I? It was when we got pregnant with Cassian, and it was just COVID, and aerial like acrobatics is so niche. It's very big down in London, but up here it's a bit of a
hard,
taboo.
isn't it?
Yeah, the kids loved it, and we had some amazing kids that I'd say like they could go professional. Like when they're older, they had such amazing potential. But I think for me, it's like, because I'm still loving performing and still want to like have a few goals I want to achieve. I think it'll be like when I'm not retired, but retired from performing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, who knows what the future holds? Because I think I'm the one that's literally been blindsided with how life can shift. So I'm just like, what's in our path is meant for us, isn't it?
Absolutely, it'll find its way.
It will. It will. Indeed.
So you're still performing at the minute?
So I'm just getting back into it now. I've done.
I love seeing you getting back into it as well and finding
I just feel
yourself
like it's
again.
Time because I feel like he's only 3, but like he's his own person now. Like he can hold his own. Like, and I can say to him like, "Mummy's just going here, Mummy's going there." Like, and he knows that I'll be back.
He understands it.
Yeah, the mum guilt before when they're so young, they're like they don't understand.
No,
now they can have a conversation, can't they? So. I'm to and from London, just taking classes and stuff, and I've done a few auditions. One is, fingers crossed, quite promising. I'm just literally manifesting and like keeping everything crossed for it. But again, like it's getting an agent now, so need to get rid of this nodule.
Yeah.
Need to shut up more.
And she comes on a podcast.
Yeah, and she comes on a podcast. This is my last, this is it.
Yeah.
I draw the line after this.
No talking for the next week.
Yeah. But then, get an agent, because then they just do like the kind of searching for you and they'll put you for the relevant jobs.
What
and then,
works.
because you're going down to London and you're paying money and then you might get cut first round if it's not.
I know, and it's
kind
really
of
disheartening as well, isn't it?
And I think now, because I'm pushing 30, like I'm 30 in July.
I know.
I'm like, whoa. That's why I feel like if I'm going for it, it needs to be now. And, I would love to have more kids in the future. So I think I'm going to give myself like 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
5-year plan just to smash it and hopefully achieve some goals. Yeah. And check them off the bucket list. And then, just see where the wind takes me, really. But it's nice to get back into it. It's just like, it's different to when I graduated, because I was on ships for years. And the standard now is, woof.
Higher.
Oh, yeah.
I think it always just keeps getting better.
We just evolve, don't we?
Yeah.
Like everyone's doing mad stuff now.
It's
Go to
scary.
auditions, and I was like, how old are you? I'm 19.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
Give her a juice. She gave me 21. She said, "You look 21." I was like, "I'll take it. You can come again."
That's what I am.
Yeah.
If anyone asks,
nail on the head. Nail on the head. So hopefully, parenting and divorce isn't literally starting to make the crack show yet.
You're still smashing it so far.
Girl stress is the worst, isn't it? For us,
you are giving youth.
Am I?
Yeah.
I haven't had anything yet either.
Good.
Trying to stay away from all of that.
As long as you can.
Yeah.
Well, it's looking good on you.
Thank you, love. It's the sun, isn't it? Vitamin D.
Yeah.
We love it.
Being health and wealth. So, talk to me about life then.
Life. Be lifing.
Literally. How are you finding everything? The past few months been a struggle, obviously.
Yeah. It was just really unexpected. And I think it's just one of those things where social media is such the highlight reel.
Absolutely.
To the point where, and I even seen it myself, like I was posting things and things weren't necessarily feeling that way at home, but you don't go on to Instagram to be a moan and myrtle, do you? Go and show your best bits. And
that's what it is for.
It is. And I kind of treat Instagram for me like my personal page. Obviously I've got my work pages and stuff like that, but my personal page, I love just having everything collectively there so I can look back on like Cassian and those milestones. For me, it's like a photo album.
Yeah.
So I treat it as that. So everything's in one place. It's private. I don't care for like likes or anything like that. But the thing that came out when obviously I announced that me and Max were separating was, we thought you were the perfect couple and you were going to be together forever. And I was like, same. But unfortunately, I think I met Max when I was 21 and I did ignore a lot of kind of red flags that were brought up and I was literally warned about. And
I think you do though, in a relationship.
You do, and you think, but they're going to be different for me. And
it's not going to.
It's not going to be that way. And I think then, we did Britain's Got Talent, we did everything like that. We had a child, most importantly. And I wouldn't even say like the marriage was the thing that I thought like this is forever. It was just like we achieved so much together.
Yeah.
Like you just thought, well, that's it, like we've smashed it, like, and we're a team, and like whatever comes in our like path and things that are difficult, we're going to work through them. And I just think you don't know when that it comes to that your partner's going to feel the same way and want to work through things, because a lot of people, I think this day and age, there's so many choices, and it's easier to walk away from the relationship than to work on it and fix parts of yourself or change parts of yourself to make that relationship work. And
because no one wants to change themselves anymore, but not everybody's perfect, and you've got to have a bit of leeway both ways.
Yeah, and I think when a child comes along, like, I never like what people say where, oh, like, it ruins the relationship. It doesn't. It shines a light on problems that were already there.
Yeah, you just can't hide them
anymore. You can't hide them anymore, and you've got to be aware of the toxic environment that they might be in. And I think it was 2 years ago that Cassian was like a baby, like he was still like in my arms, like tiny. And I used to say to him when we would argue, like, stop, like the baby, like not in front of him. And that was never enough to calm him down or bring him back down to earth and be like, right, okay, yeah, like whatever's going on, it's surface level. Yeah. Let's just get over it. There was no communication. Yeah. And I think my parents won't mind me saying this, but like my mum and dad are still together, but there was times where they really shouldn't have been. Yeah. And I think it's had a massive effect on me, like with my trust issues and stuff in relationships. I think that stems massively from things I'd heard growing up and arguments when alcohol was involved. And I'm just so now adamant on not letting that be Cassian's reality because I want him to have healthy relationships when he grows up. And I think especially for men, because that's not something they're really taught.
No. It's not at all.
Yeah, and unfortunately my ex has gotten into a bit of a cycle where it just seems like history repeats itself with every partner. And
which is really sad. It's a sad reality.
It's sad because I'm not perfect. I'm massively flawed and I own them and I always want to talk about them. And I've always, even my own struggles with mental health, I've always been, people would say she struggles with her mental health, but she's all right because I speak about it. I'm very open and how I'm feeling. I'm not feeling great today. I would never, no one would have to worry about me going quiet. I don't shut up. Like, I've got a nodule. I've got a vocal nodule. Do you know what I mean? It proves it. Whereas, like, again, I don't think men talk enough. No, they just don't.
Especially older generation.
Generation, and you're dealing with, like, obviously, as we go through the times, everyone's talking more about narcissism and toxic traits, and that was very much my reality, and that's something I was warned about when I met him. I was told he was a narcissist. I was told he had BPD, and I didn't want to believe it, honestly. However, in saying that, he left a wife for me. Now am I surprised that he's left me?
It's hard because at that time, at the beginning of a relationship,
and 21, it's just naive.
You're very naive.
And love bombing's huge. Like, I'm going through this thing now where a guy will like speak to me and like I think they've really laid back and like, oh, they're not really interested. But I think I've just been used to being love bombed. That then I'm oh, you're not interested in me. But really, it's just like, no, this is normal. Like how things build up gradually, not like
everything at once.
I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you in 2 weeks. Like,
but that's like what we're taught as well from when we're younger in films.
Oh yeah,
it should just be like.
And I felt like that's what I had. Even the circumstance, I even romanticised the fact that he, you know, she just wasn't for him, and he seen what he wanted in me, and I romanticised it in a sense of like, you know, we didn't want to fall in love with each other, but we did.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no,
Sophia. But now you're older and you know more, and you look back
like.
And you can see the flaws that were there.
Yeah, I think if someone's actively in a relationship and they leave that person for you, it's a massive red flag. Yeah. It's given that's going to be your reality in a few years, likely. Yeah,
it will just repeat itself, as you say.
And so, I mean, obviously we worked on ships before and we own an agency. When I got pregnant, I needed to obviously be doing something with my time. And I decided to we both decided, but I was doing most of the work, the emails and searching for talent type thing. And we started getting commission for putting other areas like us on board, because obviously we got pregnant and also COVID. It took another like 2 years, I'd say, when we got pregnant for them to go back. But when they did, the company trusted us to like look for other duos. So it was great. That's source of income. And that's what I was doing as like my job while I was pregnant. And obviously we had the studio, but then we realised it was probably going to I'd have to filter out because it was just too much with a newborn baby and him working away in London. Because when I got pregnant as well, he worked every weekend in London. Yeah. from when like I was pregnant, but then Cassie was 2 weeks old, every weekend away in London. And it wouldn't just be the weekends, sometimes it'd be shows on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then one of our couples got injured. The guy got injured. Obviously, that's the nature of our job. If you get injured, unfortunately, it can be career over. Yeah, so we had to replace him. So it was really quiet in London for performing, and it actually got to a point where Cassian was he was coming down, he wishes, coming down to London with us every week, and we got a gorgeous caravan, so we were all like happy together. Family life down there, keeping like routine for Cassian. And then it just wasn't. It's like he was going to bed at midnight, he wasn't eating properly, he wasn't with kids, his speech weren't coming on, so we got to like eat. I knew I wanted him to go to nursery at 2.5 in September last year. I was like, it just doesn't suit him anymore. Like, he's not thriving in that environment. No. And I, as a mum, I will not. Thank God
you saw that.
Yeah, I will not continue to do. It's selfish. Like, he's not thriving, and he is the priority now. Like, what we want, our goals and aspirations, they sit on the back bench until he's grown and he's like standing on his own. You know, I say standing on his own, but you know what I mean. Like, at an age where he understands. Like,
absolutely.
So that I obviously had put that out there, that I didn't really want to continue doing this every weekend. It's not good for our son. He needs to go to nursery, he needs to be with other kids. And already us just seeing it, like, his attitude, it was, the discard was already starting to happen, and I could see it. But anyway, we were like, we need a guy to replace, because again, losing money being down in London, but also the commission. So we spoke about him going away for 11 weeks. And now if he was sat here, he'd say I had a lot of trust issues, and I did. But now, sending your husband on a ship for 11 weeks, it's not giving control and trust issues. No. However, if you're on board and you're not behaving a certain like way that's respectful to me, I'm going to pull you up about it, right?
Absolutely.
So that was kind of the reality. A lot of arguments when he was away.
It's just even harder because you're away.
Yeah, and he just seen it as, I'm here for the family, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm raising our son alone. Like, there was no. Many that like really respect you and just admire you as a wife and a mother when you become a mum. Or it's kind of, my reality was every woman does it. Every woman breastfeeds.
It's just expected.
It's expected. It's in your genetics.
It's your nature.
This is what you're made for. Exactly. Yeah. And that cutthroat now, he's Eastern European, right? So that you add that layer on as well, where mentally he's just very cold and just very cutthroat, very straightforward. And worse, that's fine sometimes. We've just had children. We're very not fragile, vulnerable.
Yeah, you are. You're
emotional, sensitive. Do you know what I mean? So all of this coming into play, but everything was fine. I mean, I sobbed at the airport because I think I knew it was like the beginning of the end. I think I knew sending him on that ship would have been, it was either going to make us or break us. And I thought, no, we'll be fine, because he's been away every weekend. We've worked through it. It'll be fine. Yeah. This is a short end. It's a means to an end type thing. It's not. And I also thought, but what if he gets a taste for it and wants
that life back
again? That life back. And again, you're bringing in how we met. And I'm like,
all the worries.
I'm thinking it's just going to take one person to catch his eye, and we're not going to stand a chance.
Yeah, it's really sad though that you have to think of
It's sad, and that's the thing about narcissists. They build the dream, they sell you the dream.
Yeah.
They build the life, the house, the wife. They even create life, but it doesn't matter. They'll leave it in a heartbeat. Yeah. And that's the scary, scary thing. And he came back and was like, after me waiting for 11 weeks, now he talks about like he felt like this for years, but for me, why did I wait at home for 11 weeks then if you were already done? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, came home and he was like, I'm leaving, and he literally upped and left to London and made it all about me in true narcissist style, as in, you know, you're the problem, your trust issues, you push me away.
It's easier to do that.
He also said, you chose Cassian over me.
Okay, and you pointers.
But I'm like, that's bizarre mindset, isn't it? That's really bizarre. That a man should want you to be the best mother of the son, especially. Like,
that's why he's having a baby with you, because you want somebody who's going to choose their son or their daughter in every aspect.
In every lifetime, in every lifetime. And but then obviously I discovered things as I went on, like looked on his phone, and it was all. And so now, yesterday, actually, perfect time, and I found out he's going back on the ship with her as a duo. But it's my responsibility to call him every Wednesday so we can see his son. So I'm here now, expected to keep his relationship alive with his son.
But you will do it for Cassian?
I will, but I think we're going through mediation, and I think, again, it's that bringing in the mental health of the children and wondering what's the best thing to do.
Absolutely.
Because every time he comes to visit, because he can go like 6 weeks without coming to visit, and then he comes to visit and Cassian's a different person. Like, it changes him, it disrupts him, it messes with him.
It's out of his routine.
He feels out of sync. He's completely just doesn't know if he's coming or going.
It's a really big shame.
So it's really sad. So it's a fine line between I want him to have a male role in his life, but not a toxic one.
Yeah, you want the best male role model you can have. You don't want inconsistency for him. He needs, and he will, he's got your dad.
Yeah, my dad, to be fair, I think I've got such high expectations of men because of my dad. My dad is...
As you should.
Mickey Ingram, love you. My dad's everything.
Good.
And I
And that's why you could eventually see those signs that you probably ignored from the start, because you know how it should look. And
my dad's never missed a Mother's Day, a Valentine's, a birthday. I... for 2 years, bought my own card and just said, can you write in it? Oh. And the last birthday I had where I bought the card and he wrote in it, like, obviously imagine you don't, obviously this, I think Cassian's my first birthday after having Cassian.
Yeah.
Which so I was in the trenches of like, still like barely
finding your way.
Getting nice makeup on and all, like looking nice, and I finally got myself ready, took me hours in between breastfeeding Cassian and like sorting him out. And I was finally ready, and I reread the card that I'd read in the morning because I kind of just skimmed over, and I was like, it basically said along the lines of, it was off Cassian, because I said, it's not about you anymore. Like, I just want to know that I'm doing a good job. I know he can't speak. Yeah. I know he can't tell me what he wants
to talk.
But I want to know that you're doing all right, Mum. Like, and thank you for everything you do. Just a bit of appreciation from my son, not from you.
Just some acknowledgement.
And it said in the card, thank you for all the nice things you buy me, even though it upsets Daddy how much money you spend. That was in the card, my birthday card.
Oh my God.
It was just mind games where it was,
just unnecessary.
And I'm like, find me a woman that, one, doesn't love spending money.
I know.
On themselves,
especially
but also
on their
the kids. Like,
I can't go a day without spending something on Nyla.
That's the thing, like, you just want to give them, and I'm not saying that money's everything and materialistic things aren't the be all and end all, but it's just...
You could buy them a £1 something, which would make them the happiest kid in the world.
Oh my God, like, yeah, it doesn't take much, does it? But I just thought, what a backhanded, horrendous thing to say on my birthday.
What if Cassian saw that card when he's older and read it and was like...
Well, I just cried and I said I didn't want to go for my meal and ruined my makeup, and that was just kind of... that. When I think back to my motherhood journey, unfortunately...
It's tainted.
Yeah, it's 100%. But the only blessing is how much time he was away and the bond me and Cassian have, because that is like...
incredible.
Nothing can touch that,
And he'll know as he grows up.
Oh yeah, I don't need to badmouth him.
You don't need to say anything. Mm-hmm. It will always show through with everything. Kids aren't thick.
The choices he makes daily, it speaks volumes.
Kids pick up on everything as well.
They do. The mediator actually said the babies, like, we think from when they're like walking and talking. No, it's from babies.
No, literally.
Yeah, they literally pick up on environment and atmosphere.
Not to be arguing. That's one thing me and Josh said, because I never heard my mum and dad argue.
Yeah.
So I said that's something I never want Nyla to ever experience, us arguing in front of each other, because it's not her place to listen to.
No, it's not. They're not our therapists.
No. She doesn't need to listen to us arguing if it's something stupid. Probably heard a lot when she was newborn and I was tired.
100%. I mean, some things can't be helped, right? Yeah. But like when one of you is saying, like I said to him, I think we need to go to therapy so that we're just handling things a bit better as Cassian gets older. He was like, therapy? I don't need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy.
Of course.
Because he wouldn't want the therapist to be telling him about himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you get some cold, hard truths, which both of you probably would have got.
100%.
You don't want to hear about things about
therapy.
yourself.
I've been in therapy through this whole process.
Yeah.
100% I have.
I think it'd make everybody a better person.
It's just like we should be able to invoice the people that put us in therapy.
I've only.
Here's the invoice.
Here's what you did to me. Thanks.
I'll take cash or cards. However you want to pay me.
Yeah, it's bad. But I do think a lot of people need therapy, but especially men won't go because they see it as like that it's not like masculine enough.
It's not masculine, or I think a lot of them. I read about obviously upbringing and how narcissism kind of comes into play, and it is like genetics kind of load the trigger, but it's environment that pulls. Loads the gun, but it's the environment that pulls the trigger. And it can be one of two. It can be them being completely smothered and they can do no wrong and the world revolves around them. So when they grow up, they literally do not, like, that's my ex-husband, like, no accountability. He did no wrong. He only did the best.
Yeah.
He only did everything he could. And misses a few, you know, major details in all of that process. Or it's the opposite and they don't get enough attention.
Yeah.
And they're crying out for it and they look for external validation. Like I say, the first one was him, but he's a bit of both because of that performing aspect as well. He just craves that external validation. And when a child comes along, my whole focus was him. And that's where it says it's like jealous of his own son. Like,
it should be the opposite.
It's not normal.
No. Do you think
It's
that
really
is
not
partially
normal.
like a culture thing though as well? Of
Yeah, they're very like, he used to say to me, "You're my wife, you should follow me."
yeah.
But what he means by follow him is follow him to London. He wanted to move to London and I was like, it's not for children, and also
No.
financially we wouldn't survive
Not
like
on this
that.
day.
We
No.
wouldn't see our son. We'd
not
both
the
have to
life.
work to be able to
Afford,
fund the lifestyle.
yeah.
And then what upbringing is that? Cassie
Yeah, so
needs
you're
a
pushing him
present
into
parent
nursery full time.
or a nanny. Because
Well,
we work
actually, because
evenings
you
for
work, yeah.
performing. It just wouldn't
So
work.
someone else is bringing your kids up, which obviously some people have to do.
Yeah.
But if it's not what you want,
No, that's just
and
not
if
how
you
I
can have a
envisioned it.
different way,
Yeah.
then you'd do it.
And look, I tried my best. I was on Britain's Got Talent. My costume was covered in boob milk. I was literally pissing milk out right before
You did amazing.
going on. Do you know what I mean? Like I did what I could, but I draw the line at seeing that he's not thriving, and I'm going to take him into an environment where he is.
You
gonna
could
thrive.
have been so selfish and be like,
Oh,
no, look,
100%.
I can go further with this.
The thing
but
with me and him is, for me, and a lot of performers, because you probably know, a lot of dancers don't end up having kids because time just goes.
Yeah.
And
You
then
miss your opportunity.
What have they got to show for it? I was never that dancer. I love it, but I do it for me, not because...
Yeah.
I did it because I had that fire in my tummy that, like, I love to be on stage, but, like, I didn't do it for that external validation, so I can take it or leave it. Like,
Yeah.
what gives me a better feeling inside is being a mum. And,
Yeah.
like, for me, that just blows the rest out the water.
Yeah.
So, and that's where me
Found
and
your
him very
calling.
much differ,
Yeah.
because he's made no sacrifices to be a present father.
Yeah. And it's always falls on the mum anyway, doesn't it?
It does, but there's some
Just
amazing
expected.
fathers and men that maybe it didn't work out, but they are there.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking, this one will go 6 weeks without seeing him and saying it's because I upset him.
Yeah, it's like taking it out.
Nothing
on
anyone
Cassian.
could say nothing he could say, anyone would keep me away from seeing my son. I'd
No.
be there every other week, because obviously I'm living in London. I'd be there
As often,
6 weeks,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, it's hard. And it's hard for you because you obviously want to probably say a lot more, but you can't to him. To Cassian, obviously. You would never.
No, I would never. When he's old enough, I know he's going to ask questions and I will be very honest, but I will never badmouth him. For now, it's Daddy's working, Daddy loves you, Daddy's at home,
And
Daddy lives in a different home.
Yeah.
But one day, yeah. And I don't even
Well,
feel
he
like
will
I'll
see
need
it.
to get into the details. I think he'll just know because
He's a smart
they're
kid.
so aware. And yeah, and he knows whenever Max has come up, there's obviously been a lot of gaslighting and I end up crying, and
Yeah, it's not a good environment
he
for
literally
him.
says as soon as Max would leave the house, Mummy's sad.
It's not good.
But he is the most empathic little boy, and that's one thing that I'm like, you're my son.
You are me.
You are me, because I can have, like, I've got a scar. I kept burning myself on the pan, just stupid. And when it was all scabby, he would kiss it and he'd go, I kiss it better. And then when I was sick the other week, because obviously toddler leg, he just strikes us down.
Yeah.
Like, I was on my deathbed.
Every week.
I was on my deathbed. And Max's mum actually just stayed with us for 10 weeks from, not 10 weeks, 10 days from
gonna say.
Ukraine. Whoa, that would be too much. I draw the line. 10 days she was with us from Ukraine because she just wants to be a good nan.
Obviously,
She's besides herself with what's
Yeah.
happened. And I wasn't well, and she said, go up to bed and, like, I'll bath him and put him in his pyjamas and I'll bring him up to you because we co-sleep still.
Yeah.
And he jumped into bed with me and he put his hand on my head and he goes, hot mummy, you're hot. And I was like, thank you. And then the next thing he goes to me is, Mummy, breathe. Breathe, because a few days before he was vomiting, and I was like, breathe, baby, like it's gonna be over soon. It's okay. Calm down. Like, just breathe. And he's just so empathic. I love it. Like, he's just the most gentle little boy.
Yeah, but you can tell that's because he's had so much time with you.
Yeah.
And they just are like a carbon copy of
Don't get me
you.
wrong, I do have to do cartwheels and random stuff like sword fighting and that. which is not me being in my feminine energy, but he will have,
boy mum, like.
he won't ever, like, he won't, only ever men have said to me, oh, but he's gonna, you know, he needs a dad. And I'm like,
He doesn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He doesn't.
We'll see.
It would be nice, but you know,
be
you can't have
gorgeous.
everything in life,
Hopefully
can
Mr.
you?
Wright's waiting somewhere and we'll absolutely adore my little boy like he's his own, but we don't know what the future holds, and that's not my priority right now.
No,
so.
Cassian will be a priority always, and you've got to find someone that fits in with your life anyway now.
Yeah.
So, and the bar is low.
Yeah. You ain't got to do too much, guys, okay? Do you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. Just be a nice person.
Yeah, just don't be a narcissist.
Yeah. There's too many of them. But no, you're coping really well with it though. Like,
Thank you.
You are smashing it.
Thank you.
And it mustn't be easy.
The thing with my job has been amazing because it's literally just got me through this. Like, I'm telling you now, when I say it's like 1 in 2 women that are single parents.
Oh, that's what I've learnt with class.
Yeah, you've probably seen it yourself, haven't you? It's madness, and all those different stories and loads of success stories, and they've gone on to find the man of the dreams, and he's loved their her children like their own, like his own, and they've gone on to have more kids, and like the heartbreak's not going to last forever, but in the trenches, like, it feels so isolating. But that's why I want to create a community for women, in the sense of you're really not alone. You feel like you are, because maybe all your friends, I'm the only single friend in my friendship
Which
group
is
now, which is hard, but I was the only one married at one point. Like, none of them are married, so I've lived a life. I'm like, girls, if you ever go through a divorce, I've got you. I know not my first rodeo.
I'm there for your highs, I'm there for your lows.
I've got all the tricks in the book, but I think it's that, again, speaking to strangers, coming in and like, I remember, I don't know, I won't obviously name names, but I'm sure if she's seen this, she wouldn't mind me speaking about it. But I had a girl come into my class, and we were just going through class, and then I just noticed she started crying, and I was like, oh no. Like, she did message me the night before and told me like she hadn't been to class for a while and she was struggling with a few things, and it turned out she had a miscarriage, but the partner she had left her as soon as the miscarriage happened, saying, well, we don't need to be together now, do we? And the fact that she booked onto my class because she'd seen my post that I was a newly single mum, and I was like,
it's worth it. Like,
I get goosebumps every time I tell that. I was like, girl, like, you can do it. Like, if there's anyone that can do it, it's women. Women are the only ones that can pull themselves out of the trenches like that. Yeah. And like, I was just like, wow. I think it's just, unfortunately, whilst I'm trying to be really positive about the male species, the more I speak to other women, I'm like, there's a lot of women like openly choosing to be single, and just don't want to disturb the peace.
It's madness, isn't it?
One of my regulars, I said, is there anyone, you know, because she had 3 boys with her ex-husband, and he like screwed her with money and finances and all of that. And again, I don't get that, because we're literally sacrificing our entire life, what we want, our day-to-day life, just to raise the child. Yeah. And then you're going to make it hard financially, so please. Like, and then she was like, no, Soph, like, I just don't want to disturb my peace. Like, it's scary to let someone into that again, because I think when you find your routine and your nervous system is completely regulated, you're like, wow, I just don't want to open that book again. No. And that's where I'm going to be. But in that same breath, I want Cassian to see a really healthy relationship. So I am really, I'm actually really positive and excited, because I know that the one for me is out there.
And you know what to look for, what to look out for.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just going to be very selective and
extra picky, which is okay.
You've got to be, because
now you've got him though as well. So
100%, if you're bringing someone into, it's our little bubble with me and Cassian. It's just mine and his chapter right now. And if I'm bringing someone into that, they've got to be
perfect.
The one.
Yeah.
Any takers? Got any male viewers?
Don't think so.
Yeah. They might just see the bums and be like, yeah, what's that? I want to listen.
No,
but yeah, that's the thing about the job. I think you find I love to empower women, because there's one thing this has given me, is so much admiration for women. Yeah. Because we have to just get on with it. And mums, like, what we go through, it's just not. Yeah. We are super women, like
stories.
Oh yeah, and it's the way that I love that I've created that space that they can open up with that. Yeah, and I am, like I said, an open book. I'll talk to anyone about what I'm going through. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to be like, yeah, maybe I married the wrong person and he walked out on me and he left me, but
you
like
did nothing wrong in the
exactly, like I
situation.
lived and I loved and I've learned.
Yeah, I like that.
So there you go. Next time.
Yeah.
But it's just one of them, isn't it? But women are amazing.
They are.
I sound like such a feminist.
I love it. Empower the women.
I know.
No, I do find with class, like, and they do open up to me a lot. I think as well sometimes when there's somebody that isn't in your friends group, or you're not going to see them all the time, you know, there's going to be no judgment. They'll come and tell me something and know that whatever I say to them, it's just from a place of wanting them to be happy.
Well, we're in like the wellness industry, aren't we? Where we just want everyone to thrive and be healthy and happy, and massively mental health is to do with that. It's we think it's all. I read a quote the other day. I'm probably not going to reel it off properly, but it's along the lines of like, you will never be your healthier self if your nervous system isn't regulated. You can't be healthy from a dysregulated nervous system. Like, you just can't, because it's everything. It's the cortisol in your body. It's the inflammation in the body. That's all from cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And that's what happened with me. Like, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Since I met my ex-partner at 21, I've been on antidepressants since I met him, and that's not a coincidence.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I filed for divorce in November, and I'm already down to 25 milligrams. The next step is coming off it completely. And in 7 years that I was with him, I could never come off them.
Yeah.
And, you know, we think, anxiety is quite normal, and
it's being pushed that it's normal.
It's been pushed that it's normal, and why does your nervous system not feel safe in maybe the relationship you're in or in the job you're in? Because I left a job in November. I was working in another studio, which I will not name, and I had to leave because it was so hostile. The manager was hideous, and I was like, I've not just filed for divorce to keep my peace. I'm not going to stay in a job. Like, I've just made a massive life decision.
You've got to look after everything around
you.
Like,
no money is going to...
It's not worth it.
No.
Ever.
Because, again, it's health and all of this, the cortisol, the stress, the inflammation in the body, it's all going to just deteriorate your health in the long run. Cancers, for example, are like... I think it was like 70 or 80 is environment. The rest is genetic. We think a lot of it comes from... genetics and things like that. It's not. It's what we're surrounding ourselves with. It's what we're putting on our body, in our body.
What we're using on
like, I'm massive on low tox living, and I try and live by that every day. Yeah. But in a world where there's literally so much shit around us. And it's scary when you become a mum. That's why I started looking at everything.
I saw a reel and it was saying about like infertility can be linked to like using fragrance stuff in your washing.
Fragrance
and like
is the
you don't
worst.
even think about all that, and then I think, well, we all burn candles and we have plug-ins and
I don't
everything.
wear perfume, babe. I've not worn perfume for like I don't smell. I wear like
just
I wear low tox natural based perfumes and I don't. Oh, I remember I used to be like Mrs. Hinch wannabe, like with the plug-ins, and
so unhealthy.
My god, it's one of the worst things.
I used to love a candle.
Fragrance, get rid.
I don't have the Yankees. I don't trust Nala anyway.
The Yankees, no. Like, remember we were all absolutely buzzing with Yankees, spending about 50 quid on a candle. Cost of living crisis now.
I know,
make me own, and it's scary because I think. And I've noticed since coming away from all that artificial fragrance, I get a headache as soon as someone's got too, like my mum puts too much perfume on. I'm like, Mum, Jesus, look, I can't see.
My sister's like that, she'll get a migraine if something's too strong.
And I think about when we were holding like newborn babies and dousing ourselves in perfume, and I'm going to be that crunchy mum if I'm blessed to have another baby, and I'll be like, don't be dousing yourself in Coco Chanel before you're coming home,
Don't come into this house unless you smell.
Sorry. BO is welcome. I do not want your, what is it, impulse. Don't bring your impulse. I've got natural deodorant and everything. I'm a crunchy mum, but that all stemmed from having a baby and being like, I want to wrap you in cotton wool and bubble wrap and just make sure
you're as protected as you can be.
So I'm like, right, what do we... Bear in mind, my child eats horrendous. He's like 70% ice cream. But...
You can't pick that, unfortunately.
The stuff that I do give him to eat, it's always good quality. And I think it's just so important. We need to be looking at what we're putting in our body.
Yeah. Well, my mum said that. She was like, why is it so much broader that people get cancer now? And I said, because when you were younger, you used to pick stuff and put it into paper bags and... everything wasn't in plastic packaging. And now everything is. Everything's got plastic in.
Microplastics is huge. It's found in the placenta, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's found in the placenta and the blood from the mums.
It's mad.
Microplastics. And even on like our water, fluoride in toothpaste. Like I don't have to, I will never tell my dentist this, because I remember I took Cassie in and he threw at me like a Colgate, and I was like, I ain't putting that in his mouth, because they swallow loads of it when they're babies.
Yeah.
And so he has a natural toothpaste, but it's got hydroperoxyapatite in it. I've probably butchered that. But it's basically eggshells, and it works exactly the same as fluoride.
Oh, really?
But it's not toxic for the body, because you're swallowing it like you are. And I said to him, sorry, will not be putting that in his mouth. And then he flipped a hairy Mary, and I was like, not going to tell you that I don't use it either then, and might be fine. Like, not a problem. It's just crazy that it's all money making, and Big Pharma makes money from us all being sick, right?
Yeah.
Even the antidepressants, when I was starting to wean off them, I rang them and was like, I'd like to start weaning down off my sertraline. I'm in a different environment now. I feel a lot more in control of my mental health, and a lot more in control of my nervous system. Oh, well, we say that if you feel good on them, you stay on them. And I'm like, of course you do, because I pay £9 a month, don't I, to buy an antidepressant.
But that's like the opposite. Like, it's like I say with clients, I don't want to train you for the rest of your life.
No.
I want to give you the knowledge of how to do stuff,
to go on your own.
And that's like,
stand on your
you want to
2 feet.
learn how to live without that antidepressant.
100%, because what am I teaching my son? Just take a tablet for it, son. I don't have the tools then to guide him through maybe tough patches of it, like rough patches of his life.
And obviously it's helped you when it needed it.
Yeah.
But now you've removed what what was affecting you.
Yeah.
It's helped.
Because it basically continued and made me continue doing a job that he wanted me to do. And whilst it bought me my house, which is amazing, looking back, I should have not been doing that job with him, and maybe I wouldn't have ever gone on them.
But it's easier said than done now.
In hindsight, it's a beautiful
now you've
thing.
learned.
I think as well, a lot of single mums will relate to this as well. If like, you can never regret the relationships that bring you your kids.
No.
Never, because I would never have, and it wouldn't be Cassie.
You wouldn't be who you are today.
No, and it would not be that little boy that I've got from it, and I would live that whole really difficult life again to have him.
Yeah.
Any day. So I think it's like, it's about the path.
And it's
I was
hard
meant
to
to be his
separate
mum. Yeah.
Because how can someone so amazing come from somebody who hate you so much? But you've just sometimes got to accept that that's the way it is.
I know. I think it's again into you, because you're looking on social media and like, oh, but why couldn't I just have a child with the right person and have this family unit? And now I don't have that. But again, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And
you could post, as I said to someone the other week, like they were like, oh, Nyla's so good all the time. I said, yeah, because if I post her having a tantrum, I'm a bad mom.
Yeah.
I can't post her crying, because they'll be like, why are you filming your kids? I said,
and the times I have filmed myself crying and literally in the trenches, like picking myself up off the floor, just not, like literally hyperventilating, crying. I've also been scolded for that, like, why are you crying on the internet? I'm like, because I want people to understand that I look, like everyone's like, you look like you're doing really well considering like you're going through divorce and you're on your own. And your husband left you. I'm like, no, okay, this is what the reality is, and I want other women to not feel alone in this, because it is very isolating and no one understands, because unfortunately, even after I've had to scream at my mum and dad and my sister, you don't understand, because you are still with your partner, you're still in your marriage, and you're still a family.
And you're glad that they don't understand it?
I'm glad. I would never, no, God, no, never.
But
and
it's
I think,
hard.
and again, another thing that I really found comfort in going through when obviously he left was, I don't understand your behaviour, because I'm just not that type of person. I could never do that. When I said my vows, I was going to work through everything, even though I was a shell of the human I was when he met me. I would have stayed, and that's why I said to him yesterday, actually, funnily enough, I said, I pined for you to choose me, and like cried and just begged you to choose the family and to work through it, and you leaving was the best thing you've ever done for me. But it was a blessing.
Yeah, you don't know that until now.
Not at the time,
and now you've learned
but and that's what 6 months. So for anyone listening, like going through it, and it feels like you're never going to heal or never going to feel positive again about the future, or you're never going to envision your life being different, it can be so much better.
It can.
So much better.
And it's better to have that bit of struggle than staying in that life that you're not happy in.
Yeah,
and
toxic, just
no
unhealthy.
respect. Because you deserve it, absolutely, especially when you're a mum.
Yeah.
So you're thriving now.
She's trying.
Yeah, she is.
I'm like 70% there.
Yeah. But you'll always have up and down days anyway, like with anything.
It's not linear, the healing process. It's just not.
As he goes through more difficult times, you'll struggle because you'll think, well, this would be so much easier.
Oh, well, he's going to school. Is it going to be different, more bugs then when he goes to school from nursery?
She's not been too bad since she started preschool.
Touch wood.
Yeah. This is where she gets ill now.
Sorry, I'm knocking the thing. It's probably like, why are you doing that?
But she's always been around kids from a young age being here, so I don't know if that's had a difference.
Yeah.
We've still not had, touch wood again, the chicken pox yet, but I kind of want to get it out the way.
I say me. I know, well, I was worried he had a little bit of rash. I thought,
I keep thinking everything is
I've got the breast milk in the freezer ready for the bath.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, just kidding. It's just like a random rash, just on a random...
Yeah. She had like 2 little spots on her arm and I was like, right, this is it.
This is it.
No.
He's not even
just
had that
2 random spots.
He's not had hand, foot and mouth either.
No, she hasn't touched wood.
Oh my God. No, we're killing it.
No.
Delete the podcast.
Yeah.
It doesn't go out in the universe because we've jinxed ourselves here.
I know, but then I'm like, if she's going to get it, it's going to be while I'm pregnant. Just, you know it. But because someone in her class got it and her mum's pregnant. And I was like, oh, I bet you she's going to get it now. Like, there's no way out of it. They're all playing on top of each other. And she didn't get it, but the mum was like, apparently it's okay if you've already had chicken pox.
Yeah, so because I taught a little girl. I was like, my water's broke in our studio, 39 weeks, like, or just pissing out water everywhere. And the kids were like climbing on me like I was a climbing frame. They loved the bump. They were actually putting their feet on it. And one came in and was like, oh, she's got chicken pox, but she's near the end of it now. And I was like, do you not see this?
Yeah.
Baseball on my tummy. Like, I don't know if I should be looking after your child today. It's not a crash, like
literally.
But yeah, I think it's okay. I feel
as long as you've had
thing. Yeah,
I think it's more dangerous when the baby's here and a newborn.
Oh, is it like a newborn? Well, I had COVID when I was pregnant. And that was hideous.
Did you?
That was really. I genuinely thought I was going to die. I felt awful.
God.
I had to put blood thinners into my bum. But imagine having a big bum and you know the baby's in there. It's a tiny little needle like that. But I was like,
I know, but
that's it. It's going to prick him. That's
Poke him in the eye.
Oh my God. No, but it's
anything like
scary.
That's scary.
It's
though,
so
when you're
scary.
Pregnant.
Yeah. But you look amazing.
Oh, I don't feel it.
No, you look
I'm
fab.
actually.
How many weeks
Thank
now?
you. 25. I know, it's flying. But I'm in like, that nice little second trimester bubble.
Second trimester, love it.
So with this baby, 18 weeks of sickness and tiredness.
Well, you were vomiting?
Just felt. I've thrown up twice, but I felt ill all day, every day. Like, I do partially think that it was because I was still getting up and going to the gym.
Just doing too much.
I needed to for my mental health. I need to get up and just have a bit of routine
and it's normal
get my body moving.
Because when I first got pregnant, I was like, right, I'm just going to chill out a little bit. And I started getting body aches. Like, my body was like, what are you doing? This just isn't you. Like, this isn't... So I was like flying on the hoop and everything. 18
as they say,
I did perform 18
normal.
weeks 18 weeks pregnant, I did. But then I started showing really quickly. Yeah. I was big.
Well, I started showing early. Well, I thought, when I look back at pictures now, when I thought I was showing, there was nothing there. But, they say, oh, you'll be massive if you're second, but I just don't feel like I'm as I don't
big.
know. I don't ever just remember it differently.
Maybe, yeah.
And it was lockdown,
it's a
and
shock,
so I wasn't in the same
you're like,
clothes.
Oh,
Plus, I feel like because I was at my fittest before, which is what I wanted to be, like, as fit as I possibly could before we had another one, it's harder. Because now I'm like,
are you stopping at 2 or are you going to have 3?
I think I'm done at 2.
Well, you've got one of each. Yeah. It's perfect.
Obviously, never say never. No, that's too much. Josh works away.
What are you talking about?
He'd love a dog. Nala asked me the other day, she was like, why don't we have a pet? And I was like, because I've got you and your dad to look after.
But you and your dad and soon to be brother.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I never say never, but yeah. I think... we'd have to...
You'll know as soon as he's here.
We'd have to be really, really comfortable with money. And we'd have to move because I don't want to sacrifice anything for the 2 we have. Just to selfishly have a third.
I agree. I always said that.
Yeah.
If finances wouldn't allow it, because I'm not going to take from Cassian.
No.
Just to make room for another
obviously,
human.
you're never financially ready for a child with everything you come with. But I was like, we're in a good position. We both work hard and... I wanted to have someone as
And
well
you're lucky
to
with
grow
your
up
job, you
with.
can bring baby boy
That's
to
exactly.
you.
He's going to be here literally fresh out the womb.
Fresh out the room, gets class.
Yeah. So we'll see. But my mum and dad, because they had us 3 girls.
Yeah.
Like my dad used to work and my mum didn't. And I was like, it's mad that you could afford. We used to go on holidays. We wouldn't miss out on anything. All 3 of us were in dancing. We used to do competitions, everything. I said, how on earth did you afford it? And then my mum and dad broke up and my mum brought the 3 of us up alone.
Oh, mum and dad separated?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
when
know
I was
that.
about 7, I think. So my mum brought us up, paid off her house, still went to dancing, still went on holidays on her own.
Oh.
And I'm like, are you a superhero? Because how? But obviously
Send it to me.
it was a very different time. No, she's like the most independent woman ever. She's amazing.
She met anyone else?
No, she's never bothered. Because she
what I
just put
mean.
everything into us.
I'm telling you.
She doesn't
Women
like to
are
drink.
choosing
Yeah. No, well, she doesn't
to
like
be
to drink
alone.
or anything. So she was like, well, where would I go meet anyone? So.
Well, that's the only other thing for me. I'm like, oh, you've got to socialise to meet
She
someone.
does socialise now, but she has a better social life than me. She goes out with the girls loads. She's paid off a house, she's paid off a car, she goes on holidays with her sister. She literally lives the best life.
And she's got you 3 girls as well.
Yeah, and then obviously the 2 grandkids, 3rd coming. So she is literally thriving. 60,
I love that. I love it. Another success
60 odd and
story. I
thriving.
love it.
Yeah. So there is hope.
Well, I'm thinking 30 is going to be the best yet, best era.
It is.
I'm feeling it.
I always was dreading turning 30.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think
No,
it's
I
the
want to
best.
leave my 20s. Again, feel guilty saying that because it was the era that I become a
Yeah,
mum.
same, but
But I'm like, 30s are it.
you learn so much more.
Yeah. Cassie was turning 3 this year and I'm turning 30 and I just feel like 3's our number and it's going to be a really special era. Like,
Exciting.
and I'm going to Ibiza. So.
Wild.
Well, I'm actually doing classy Ibiza if there's such a thing.
There is.
I'm only going for 2 nights because
We
again, I
did a
don't want to be
family-
away from him. I'm like,
We did a
I'd
family
take it if I
holiday
could.
to
Imagine in
Ibiza.
San Antonio.
You'd love it.
Cassie.
Yeah, we did a family holiday to Ibiza last
Did
year
you,
because it's where
love?
me and Josh met.
Is
So
it?
we took her back.
Do you know how many people have told me I'm going to meet the man of my dreams in Ibiza? And I'm like,
That's
2
not the place
days.
you expect.
Not expect, but also 2 days. I'd have to be very like quick on my feet. Like
He'd have to really wow me.
he'd have to literally blow me mind, like love at first sight.
Yeah. No, so that's how we met. And then
I love that.
It's
He's
like
not from here, is he? And he moved
he's from
here.
Essex, yeah. So it was just
Do you
the
know
last
what's
thing
funny?
we both expected.
My best friend's fiance from Essex met in Ibiza.
Really?
Literally.
Isn't it weird?
That's weird.
But
Maybe I'm
yeah.
the 3rd one.
Yes. You
Someone
just
from
need to go
Essex.
do a season there.
No way. Oh my God, no. I went out like 2 Christmas parties with all like the studios and I was like, that's me done for like
No,
3
same.
years. I don't need to socialise again.
I don't know how I used to go out all the time.
No, it's not for me.
No. I literally did 2 summers there, going out all the time. I'm working 2 jobs and I
You
think...
worked 2 summers in Ibiza?
Yeah.
She's lived her whole life.
Thank God. But I'm like, we've been there, done that. I am now. I'm just
I'm a
staying
mom.
at home.
I'm a mom now. I'm a cool
So,
mom.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so lovely to have you on and chat. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. Love having a chin wag.
We can maybe have you on in the future and see
Would
how
love
well
to.
you're doing.
Yeah, let's have a catch up.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Lots of love.
Thank you so much for watching or listening with us today. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget that you can listen on the podcast streaming platforms. And if you are listening with us, you can also watch us on YouTube. If you liked our podcast today, you can show us some support by liking, subscribing, following, sharing across all platforms. And if you really enjoyed it, you can buy me a coffee and the link is below.